sleep again. They sleep. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Back in. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. Wipe it. They can't win. They can't win. No new friends. No new friends. Football fans. Football. They sleep again.
Chucky is back. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, for the first time in more than 16 years, John Gruden takes to the sideline here in Oakland as coach of the Raiders. But they're in for a tough test against a playoff team from a year ago, the Los Angeles Rams. I'll talk to you again at halftime with a look back to games from yesterday. But first, we head out to the East Bay. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Los Angeles Rams. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
The first carry now for Marshawn Lynch. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw is Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Roberts. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by John Johnson. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And complete right side to Cook. That throw good for 4. It's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Get down, get down.
Carr now on first down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
No surprise watching Marshawn Lynch scatter bodies as he runs, but I remember doing games of his at Cal. I remember the moves, the jump cuts, the elusiveness, as well as the strength.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A Raiders first down. Carr hooking up with Cook.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. LaMarcus Joyner in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. From the gun, it's Carr. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. Fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field, and he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know, that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Goff now looking to throw. We got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Goff. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. And time to remind you that coming up at halftime, we're off to see the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a wild opening weekend in the NFL.
It's good to have Coach along for the ride this year, although he would probably say,
blitz coming, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. And he whips that one incomplete there. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They go play action with Gurley. Now gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered.
But that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Carr now on first down. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing on first down is Carr. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Carr. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Carr. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
They'll fight a man over the middle. It's Washington. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Now Carr again. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete. The tight end, Lee Smith, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And this one is right through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. The We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 1st and 10, Goff pushing his ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Reggie Nelson. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dub for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And it's caught. Roberts has it for a Raider touchdown. Seth Roberts, 27 yards. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you're looking to plays. Oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Goff now looks to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Okay, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the red zone now, Goff. His throw caught right around the 6. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. stepping up. He'll try and run. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Just a yard, but that's all they needed, and by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this is caught for a touchdown. We'll check the flag, but it looked like a clear offsides, and it should stand.
Offside, defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover it? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
The tackle there by Mark Barron. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still... Back now in the East Bay. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. On second down, Lynch. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. On first down, Goff. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Now, here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to the air. Goff on second down. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and it's third down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Throwing on third. Goff. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, L.A. Goff finding Higbee. On first down, it's Gurley. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Goff. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Goff. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face a third down. Here's Goff. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Goff. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Reynolds. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Goff. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. Now Goff. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Get down.
On 3rd down, they go Lynch. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Orange.
Now it's gone. He's going to let it fly. This is caught at the 20. A huge play that time for the Rams. And even 40 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. Goff. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Goff now looking to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Trying to get it to Woods.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They start the drive with Lynch. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.